I can't color. Always when I tried to do it, it looked like crap. So I decided to change techniques and started learning grayscaling. Long story short, it helped me a lot, especially with values. But there was also a downside of it. Every drawing looked too desaturated. So in conclusion, I want to learn how to color instantly. Alright, so today I want to make a color drawing without any tutorials or tips. Let's see how it will turn out. Pause. I wrote an entire script about how I created this drawing and the process I went through, but 90% of it probably wouldn't be very valuable for you. So to save your time, what went wrong in this drawing? The lips are pretty messed up, the hair, I just didn't know what to do, and let's just ignore the clothing. In conclusion, there was just so much chaos. So I decided to watch some tutorials, and by some, I mean a lot of them. Start with the biggest struggle in our last drawing, the hair. I just worked with a tutorial and ended up with this result. Yeah, it looks pretty decent, but we still need to put that on our actual drawing. I actually don't know how it will turn out. And if you're enjoying this video, I would highly appreciate if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel. Next step were the lips. Here I was mainly practicing angles to get more comfortable with them. And finally I watched some tutorials about skin coloring. I would say let's start with our first drawing. Here we got the sketch, and the first thing I did was I changed the sketch layer to multiply. The reason I did this is that you can add any dark background and you can still easily see the sketch lines. Shoutouts to Sam, I learned it from him. The first step was to add the background. And I did this because colors look very different in darker environments. But now let's get to the coloring. The first step is to get the values right. And you do this by using only two colors. Overall, you can imagine my process as a pyramid. First you start with the foundation, in this case the values, and later you add more colors and details. After we had the values in place, I started adding the third color. In this case it's the bluish white color we see here in the reference. I basically placed the color everywhere I saw it in the reference. In the beginning, I mainly focused on the darker part of the face, because it was also the more detailed area, so it would take the longest. Then I lightly blended the reddish color from the reference onto the face and added a bright orange color. And here we can definitely see how much more vibrant this face already looks. After that I added shadows for the fold of the mouth, the nose and the eye. I added the highlights to the forehead and created a transition from the bright part of the face to the dark part. Then I colored the nose, and here you can really see how I blended this red color in, and it makes the skin much more vibrant. And at the right side of the nose I tried to capture the subsurface scattering from the reference. Note, subsurface scattering handles light that penetrates and moves within the area under a surface. For the eyes, I started by drawing the eyelashes, and I always draw them this way. You know, it's just very simplified and simple to draw. For the iris, I like to draw lines from the pupil outward, using different colors to make the eye more interesting. Finally, I added small white dots for the highlights. I also added on every hard edge like this, always an orange color, just to make the transition really vibrant, and I think it looks a little bit more realistic. After that, I colored the lips. Start with the base color, aka the pyramid technique. I added the shadow and the bright part. And finally, I added the highlights. Then I focused on the throat and the shoulder. First I added dark colors, or let's say shadows, to make the chin line very clear. Oh my god. And again, I applied an orange color to these hard edges. I lightly blended a white color on the shoulder area to create a subtle highlight. After that, I changed my brush to this kind of rougher one and colored the clothing. Here I literally just used these two colors. Finally, the hair. And here I didn't follow the tutorial I did before because I was just too confused about how to apply that technique. So I decided to start again with a base color. Then I used a darker color to create more depth. And I chose this specific brush to add more detail to the hair. Added some brighter colors for the highlights, and here we are with our finished portrait. In conclusion, you start with the base color, aka the foundation, aka the pyramid technique. Then you make the values right. After you're satisfied with the values, you gradually add more and more colors from the reference to your portrait. I am actually pretty happy with the result, and I hope I could help you somehow. And always remember, if you're not happy with your drawing at all, it shouldn't demotivate you. It should do the exact opposite. It should motivate you even more to keep drawing and improving. That, for example, was literally me a year ago. You got this, and peace out. And I don't know why my barber went like this with my haircut. Sorry for that.